What's going on, guys? Back again today with Ian from Brink Construction. Always enjoy having Ian back in business with us. Just sitting down, hammering out some strategy. In this episode, we really look at what it feels like to be in a rut. I mean, having to get creative, people to take care of, no work on the schedule. Super impressed by Ian's drive, determination, knocking on doors, New Year's Day, doing what it takes to get the jobs. Refined some things here, talked a lot about strategy in terms of dialing in what customers care about most. And that's going to be really crucial for you in the home service space to understand some of these concepts that we cover. So I hope you enjoy this business breakthrough. It starts right now. The big question you need to ask yourself every day is, do I own a job or do I own a business? And unfortunately, the majority of contractors out there own a job. That's right, they're a slave to their own business. But the other side of the fence is so much greener, it's so much better, and that's when you're finally fully in control of your destiny, your freedom, your time. And that's what Contractor Secrets is about. It's about taking back our time, building a business with systems, standards, values, procedures, putting yourself in the driver's seat. And that's what it's about. So I'm excited. I'm happy to have you here. Let's dive into the Contractor Secrets podcast. All right, what's going on, everyone? I'm back with Ian. Everybody asks, man. Dude, you're becoming a familiar voice on the podcast, man. I get a couple people that mention how valuable. Actually, your podcasts get the most views the quickest and the longest, actually, which is funny. So because you usually have a really good microphone, you bring the challenging questions that a lot of people go through. So appreciate you, bro.
That's good. I never, it's cool to hear that, actually.
Yeah. I look at the numbers on yours and they get listened to and the length of time as well. So anyway, you hit me up last week, or I hit you up. I don't know what happened, but you told me that you were looking at the next week and you had nothing on your schedule and you have 2 employees and you're in a rut. And where do we stand now? It's now Wednesday. You didn't have any work Monday. What happened and what's going on?
So basically Monday started. We were just basically in a scramble because both guys were at a job site, basically doing like a renovation job that we're doing, just kind of finishing up some final touches, caulking, all that kind of stuff. And then on Tuesday, we had one guy go to a site. He basically did a quick repair or 2 quick repairs on 2 different sites. And then after that, he pretty much went home. So he only had like 3-hour day there, which kind of sucked. Right. And the other guy finished up at that renovation job for the rest of the day. He left around 2:00, which is about a normal time for him because he leaves or starts a little bit early. Now, yesterday I was able to close a job on the spot for today, and that's where they are right now. And that's where I'm actually sitting outside of right now.
It's a good thing that you learned on the spot sales there, because you can't have that day or 2 delay. And so tell me how that went. What was, let's dive into that. So what type of job was it?
So it's a small job. And to be honest with you, there's not very much profit in this one. It's basically,
it's a KTGB job, KTGB. That's called a keep the guys busy job.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's okay. And I want to make a point here, because this is good. You're getting it, right? Like we started off like, what are we going to do? I'm working alone. All right. That was our first episode. I think we had, how many have we done? 2?
3. This is the 4th.
This is the 4th. I forget what happened with 2. I know it was good though. 3, you told me that, 2, you were saying how you were thinking about hiring people and you're kind of getting the hang of that and you're understanding what direction you're in. 3, you hired some people, you have a good team. And now 4, it's like you're understanding the dynamics of keep away. And keep away is what I refer to as you staying away from production. And right now you are investing in your business by saying, you know what, I don't really care about the profit right now. I need to build momentum. You're going to get profit on the back end, right? Once the cycle's happening. And I think you're starting to understand that concept. So I know you're not making money on this one. So what happened with the sale and what type of job is it?
So we have actually only had 3 business breakthroughs. I just thought about. The 4th one was that one private call that we had.
Oh yeah, a little bit different.
Yeah, but pretty much what's happening is they're just doing a 90 square foot little front entrance here. We're removing some subfloor that was on the ground. There was carpet there originally, but she already removed it. And we're just putting in some 2-inch hardwood floors. Now, the sales process went pretty well. It was actually just like she told me she basically couldn't get a big enough company to come in and give an estimate. But every time she got smaller guys, they were just like handyman who would come in. She felt like they weren't going to do a good enough job. I don't know if you guys have an app out there called Jiffy, but she had a couple people come from Jiffy, which is like
We have
quick.
Jiffy Lube, but not
Oh,
Jiffy.
no, so it's like a contractor app, but you're not allowed to leave business cards or anything like that, and you have to go through their set prices. So you basically work for an app at that point. It's almost like Uber, but and everyone who came in are just like handyman guys. So she didn't really feel like she was getting someone professional enough. So when I came in, I was like, look, here's our price, blah, blah, blah. And I basically put it on the low end with no profit. Now, the one problem I'm having though is I'm stuck in a circle. And it's funny because I actually had a long conversation with, I don't know if you know Nick from Pathfinder.
I do.
Yeah, so me and Nick had like a good 3-hour call yesterday about this. And we looked at my numbers and we were figuring out where the problem is. But I'm stuck in a circle where I can't make enough money to afford my marketing. I don't have enough marketing to be able to keep my guys busy, and I can't keep my guys busy enough to make, or speed my guys up enough to make the money, because it's like stuck in a circle, you know? So pretty much the issue is that I'm trying to figure out.
So let's look at your, what I call the stock portfolio, right? So, you know, ultimately, if you were investing, okay, right now, it looks like you have all of your eggs in one basket, right? Like the fact that you are relying so heavily on one marketing channel, whether it's Pathfinder or Homestars. Are you signed up with Homestars?
So this is where I'm going to basically take what you're saying and flip it around. I'm with Pathfinder. I'm with Homestars. I'm with Bark. I'm with Reno Quotes. I'm with Smart Reno. I'm with now Home Depot. And I have my website. And I think there's one more. I'm on Kijiji. I'm on Facebook, like just marketplaces.
Okay.
I have my street signs. I do door knocking. I do flyers. New Year's Day, we were messaging, I was going door to door on New Year's Day knocking for about 6 hours.
Wow.
The other day I literally printed out a page with the header on top, and it basically just said, like, guys, it's January, it's hard to book, you know, COVID just got worse here in Canada, so everything's shutting down again. Like, we're giving you guys a 15% discount to hopefully get your guys' project done and help us fill our schedule. I printed out 50 of these sheets, enveloped them, and went door to door, leaving them at night in their mailboxes. Never heard back from anyone.
Wow. Holy
like
cow.
I'm pushing here to keep these guys busy.
So what is and you only have 2 guys that you're keeping busy.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
That's what's insane. So let's look at this, because I don't necessarily think well, let's talk about it. All right. First of all, Home Depot, they should be sending you some jobs.
Well, I haven't, like, I literally just got my insurance to send me my proof of insurance. So I'm literally like just signing up today.
Okay.
So I actually haven't gone like through the process yet to
so between, okay. So, all right, let's open up that can. Home Depot, flooring stores. How many flooring stores have you went into that you are on their vendor list officially?
So every single flooring store that I've gone to so far, whenever I talk about a vendor list, they have their own subcontractors that they use already.
How many flooring stores have you went into?
That is a total of 4. Okay. I've been meaning to go to more, but unfortunately I haven't had just the time because I've been running around like crazy trying to get jobs for these guys.
Right. So you got to understand the buy, like, when a good salesperson is also a good buyer. You have got to be a student of how people buy this service. You've got to be a student of it. You've got to understand this process and what people do. In the painting space, most people don't run to Sherwin-Williams and look at colors first. They don't. It's not the consensus. They typically understand, hey, I got to get a painter over here to give me a quote, and then I'll figure out the colors. That's just the norm. With flooring, it's a little bit different. Many people like to go look at floors first. You'll see them. They're Home Depot, flooring stores. They go there first. Is that true, or am I going in the wrong direction?
I definitely think so. I feel like it's a good 50-50 because most of the time I talk to people is either I have no idea.
No way. It's not a good 50-50. It's probably a 75-25. It's just understanding, like, flooring stores are a lot different than a paint store. If you go into a paint store, there's one little tiny section of colors. Okay. Many people understand that a paint store is more for contractors. You'll see people in Lowe's looking at colors. Like, if they're in Lowe's and they pop into that color section, it's just a more customer friendly place, you know? With flooring stores, it's majority for customers. It's a showroom. That's what it's designed for. Flooring contractors don't come there and get their materials in showrooms. Is that you understand?
No, I agree. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying, is that you need to stop looking at these flooring stores as anything but showrooms where customers go that want floors. And maybe it would be wise for you to start really finding and building relationships with them, hanging out in the floor store. Try to find a way to build some value there. Try to find a way to maybe go up to a customer there and just, ask if they had found a contractor yet. Pop in a little bit, maybe not stay there all day, but you know what? Make it a point to go there for an hour and just go there, introduce yourself. If you're not already introduced again, see if you can get some samples from them. So have them give you some samples. Don't be using them little chip cards anymore. You're not still using those, are
No,
you?
no. So the last flooring store I
So
went
in your
to,
car right now, how many samples do you have?
I have about 3 chain sets and about like 8 different trims.
So you have chain sets?
Yeah, like
Show me what you have. Show me what you're giving. Okay, I see that. Okay. What I think is more valuable is you actually getting the piece.
that is the piece.
No,
That's like a piece.
that's a sample. No,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I'm talking the actual length piece, the long piece, however long it is, 3 feet or whatever. You should have those because they do want to see that length. They do want to see how wide it is and how long it is, right? And you can lay that down right next to their baseboard for them to see and visualize.
Yeah. The only
understand?
issue with that is a lot of the material is special order for most of the time.
Bro.
They don't just keep it in
Bro,
stock.
come on. You are a salesperson and people don't know what they want. So if you have 5 of those in different shades and different colors, guess what? You have got to be a facilitator, bro. I'm going to be honest with you. Here's the thing. If I come to your house and do a floor, not you, because you're a difficult customer, but a normal person, you're going to ask me too many questions. I'm going to get out of there quick. But an average customer, okay, if I come to the house, first of all, if I'm in your position, I understand I got to speed up the buying process. I don't have the luxury to go to the customer and say, okay, well, yeah, so this is how it works. You have to go first pick out your floors and you have to go pick exactly which one you want. Then they go to the floor store that never has anything, of course. And then they call you and say, Ian, can't do it. They're not going to have the floor we want in stock for 6 years. Okay. And then you're like, great, I'll put you in my Dripjobs follow-ups and follow up with you in 6 years. Right. No, that's not how we can't do that in your situation. You need to have 5 or 6 actual pieces, not your little chain gig there, not your little samples. What you have there is comparable to me bringing a fan deck, and what I'm asking you to do is paint the sample on the wall. Do you see how much more valuable that is? Because it eliminates the question, right?
I'm assuming you do this after you get the job, though.
No, you don't have the
no?
luxury to. You now need to build more value than everyone else right now. Maybe when you get to a point where you can just churn and burn like that and sell the job first and then offer that as value. Yes, but right now you need to hustle the value so you can speed up the buying process. Because right now you're in the red zone. You have employees and you have no work and you're stressed out about your marketing and you're all over the place. And what I'm telling you is this: people tend to lean toward the customer or the contractor that makes them feel as though they have their best interest in mind. And if you can facilitate this buying experience by eliminating the headache of going to the floor store, of finding a floor, of usually people don't know what they want. They just want the shade in the flooring business, right?
Yeah.
I sell flooring, by the way, just so you know. So I know what I'm talking about. I'm not here just guessing.
No, I remember you saying that
I just did a flooring estimate yesterday. The guy's like, yeah, I want something light. Okay, here, do you like this one? So I know, I know how to go about this in a way that can speed up your buying process. So here's the strategy. Follow me here. You go into the house, you identify that they want the floors done in their living room. First thing you need to be thinking is upsells. Okay. So have you thought about getting new baseboards? Okay. Hey, are you interested in crown molding? These are some things we do. Oh, you do? Yeah. Oh, would you like to see the crown molding that we offer? Sure. Hold on. Let me run out to the car real quick. At this stage, you need to be doing this. Hey, and you bring a piece of crown molding. Hey, do you have a ladder I could borrow in your garage? I'll stand up here and hold it up for you. Doesn't that look good? Oh my God, that looks good. I had crown molding in my last house. Would you like a quote on it? We're going to be here. This is before you even go into pricing. At this stage, I'm telling you, this needs to be your strategy. Okay. You're offering value. You're doing showmanship. You're working it. Okay. Okay, cool. I can give you a quote for that. Okay. Have you decided on what type of flooring you want? What type of flooring style you're interested in? Oh, we have an idea. Would you like me to show you some samples? Of course, they always say yes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you narrow it down. Okay, do you want darker or lighter? Oh, well, we want lighter. Okay, are you interested in luxury vinyl or laminate? Oh, we want luxury vinyl. Perfect. 1 second. I have 3 luxury vinyl planks I'll bring in and you could decide. So
Mm-hmm.
now they have that one, and that one next to each other. Which one do you like? Okay, I think this one goes really good with the paint color. Oh, well, you know what? We're thinking of changing the paint color in this living room. Would you like us to quote that for you?
Mm-hmm.
At this stage, you've got to do things like this.
No, for sure. Um, I guess the only I know we're tight on time today. I was thinking maybe I can go over my sales process with you to see if there's any loose ends. Oh,
Yes.
okay, perfect. Sorry, I'm gonna swipe out of the Zoom here. So, my first thing is setting the expectation. So I was like, "Hello, Mrs. Johnson. My name is Ian. I'm the owner of Brink Construction. Today we're gonna do a walkthrough and go over the details, and I'll be leaving with you guys with an estimate before I go today." Um, and then the next stage of that is ask questions. So like, what's the story? Why did you call us here today? Have you decided on the flooring?
Wait. When's your next estimate?
Tomorrow.
What
Oh
time?
no, sorry, Friday.
Friday? Why
Yeah.
is it Friday?
Because that's the only time like they had the book in with the they had the viewing for a new house.
Oh, okay. So they're going to see the new house on Friday.
Yeah, so I was just gonna come with them for the viewing. But I'm calling all my clients today to do follow-ups to see if we can book in something today or tomorrow.
Gotcha. Okay, good. Continue.
Oh, so, what is the story? Why did you call us here today? Have you decided on a flooring material? Have you ever changed your baseboards? Now, the reason why we changed this from like, oh, would you like to get your baseboards changed is because it's like, instead of like directly going and trying to do the upsell, it's like, oh, have you ever done it? Oh, would you like to? You know what I mean? Like ask more
I
questions.
don't like that question.
I
Have you
feel
ever
like,
changed it? I hate that
well,
question.
have you ever changed your baseboards? And they say, oh, no, we never thought about it. Or maybe like, oh, you know what? Like
What's
we've
that? I
thought,
could be like, have you ever had your house painted before versus have you ever had your house painted by a professional painting company before? Those are
yeah.
the question's too general.
Okay. So maybe add like, have you ever gotten
No,
like,
no, you're not suggestive selling there. You're not.
okay,
You're letting them lead the way, Ian.
okay, makes sense.
Suggestive selling is, hey, just curious, would you like to see what a new baseboard would look like on your next to your new floor?
Yeah, no, that's fair. And then like another question is like, have you ever seen any gaps or seams on top or the bottom of your baseboards? This is mainly to
No,
build value.
irrelevant. Irrelevant. Don't ask that question.
Well, the reason why I asked that question is because sometimes they're like, oh yeah, you know what? Like there's all these gaps in the tops and the bottoms. I'm like, okay, well, let me show you a picture of the
People do
baseboards that we
not
do.
see that. Like there's the average customer does not notice these things. You do because you're a contractor.
Hmm.
And you need to say, hey, one thing that we're going to make sure that we do as an added service if we do install your baseboards is we're actually going to finish them. And finish them means we're going to caulk the top and make sure if there's any quarter round, we can caulk that and we'll fill the putty holes and then we'll repaint them for you.
Okay.
And that's why I'm saying this is because these questions that you're asking is causing confusion. Oh, well, let me
Hmm.
think about it, Ian. And it's taking their attention away from what you want them to be focusing on.
Okay. And then the other one is like, do you hear any squeaks on the floor while you're walking around? Obviously, that's a very common one.
Irrelevant. Ian, hey, Mrs. Jones, just so you know, when we think of getting a really good floor, one thing we want to avoid is those creak sounds when you walk on the floor. And I don't know if you know this, but the reason that happens is because the padding on the bottom of the flooring is either non-existent or it's really thin. So when considering a flooring, we highly suggest you go with something with a heavy padding to avoid that.
Because normally the reason why I do bring that up is because like the next part here like is answering those problems with solutions. And basically, so what I do is I gather all the problems first before I start answering them right away.
You know the
And
problems. You know
well,
them.
the reason why is because they say like, oh yeah, we have a squeaky floor, like come over here and they step here. I'll say, okay, you know what? I'm going to give you guys a roll of blue tape. I
Ian,
want
if
you
you're
to stick it on
walking
the
on the
ground.
floor, do you notice that it's squeaky?
Well, certain areas might have squeaks that we're not walking in
Okay,
at
so
specific
you as
time.
the professional are walking through it, and if they're changing out the floor, what you need to do is then say, "Hey, I noticed this floor is squeaky here, and let me just explain to you how we can prevent this in the future because I know it probably bothers you."
Mm-hmm. Because so what I was saying before though is like I actually give them a roll of tape to stick on the floor wherever they hear squeaks, and we make sure to screw that subfloor area down really tight to try to reduce the squeak as much as possible. That was like a value build that.
You're putting them to work.
Well, it's more in the sense of like
Ian,
building like
Ian, come back to the camera. I gotta talk to you.
okay.
you're going to be a very successful business owner. At this pace, you're going to go through way more stress and headache than you need to, because you're analyzing this way too much. First of all, this is an emotional sale. This is not selling your services to a general contractor. And I think you're getting them confused because they're totally different. People want to feel like you're in control. Every question that you ask in this scenario is making me feel like I have to be in control and I have to answer that question. Oh, I don't know if I've seen cracks. What's that mean? Is he going to charge me to fill them? Do you understand? So through this sales process, it starts like this. What's the story, miss? Oh, we're moving in. Fantastic. So I know time's important to you, right? Just curious, when's the moving truck coming? Oh, well, our goal, and they already have a moving truck schedule most of the time. Our goal is to get in by Friday of the following week. Perfect. If everything lines up, I can get my team in there Monday. I'm excited to meet with you Friday. So they already know, hey, Ian, he can get us in Monday. Is that how you went about the conversation when you spoke to this homeowner?
The one that's I'm doing right now?
No, the one for Friday that you have to meet that's moving in.
No.
Okay. Why not?
Because I'm not even sure what the closing date was. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they
Do you
told me what
see
it
how
was.
important that is? Remember what I said earlier. If you are going to be a good seller, you must also be a good buyer. If you and your girlfriend were moving into a home and you needed a flooring estimate and the contractor didn't even ask you what your closing date is,
Well, he
can
told
they
me, I just
put,
can't remember exactly, but I know it's like not even for another 2
then you
months.
as a salesperson need to know that date. That's the most important information for a flooring contractor to know, is the closing date. Why? Because they can't move in unless the floor is installed, or else you're going to be in big trouble having to navigate all their junk around the house just to install the floor. Yes or no?
No, I agree. Like the only reason I kind of forgot right now, it's in my notes somewhere, but it was like booked in like almost 2 weeks ago. That's the only reason why.
So that, but again, you need to understand, like, you have to be a student of the buying process, right? And you're going over a lot of good things, but it's like, this is the most important. Why am I coming? So I can give you the value that you care about most. They don't care about squeaky floors and cracks in the baseboards. They don't know about these problems yet. They care about, hey, am I going to be able to move in on time? Are the contractors that I'm hiring going to be able to get this done? Or is there going to be stress heading my way? Of, oh my God, the movers are here. No contractor here to do the flooring. So when you go in there, you need to emphasize, hey, we can get in here Monday. Hey, we can get in here Monday. I know that, hey, I know you got movers coming. My team is fast. I guarantee you we can be out of here by Thursday. That's what the whole focus of the sales process should be. You shouldn't be asking about squeaky floors, and you shouldn't be asking about caulking cracks. These are givens. These are things that you're going to do anyway.
Yeah.
You're not going to leave a floor squeaky, and you're not going to leave cracks uncaulked. That's what's expected of you. So again, you're asking project focused questions. Okay. Those aren't emotional, bro. Unless you make it emotional. And remember how I made it emotional. Hey, when you walk on this floor, is it squeaky? Now it's emotional. Does it bother you at night? Okay, great. We're going to fix that for you. Let me put a piece of tape here. So I know that this area is squeaky. Now it's emotional, right?
Well, then the one thing which I was going to mention after is at the bottom of like all these questions, it says like, be on the client side with the problem, feel the problem with them. So it makes it more emotional.
Or not emotional when you ask a question. You can make any question emotional. Let me ask you, let me turn your first question about, hey, do you notice if there's any cracks that are uncaulked or things that, hey, just so you know, I don't know how the last contractor did it or how it made you feel, but we do not leave cracks uncaulked. That's something that usually the painters are supposed to come in and do. But we're going to save you the time and effort of having to find a painter. And we'll make sure that if we install this quarter round, we're going to caulk it, putty it, and put a finished coat of paint on there for you. How does that sound? Is that more emotional than your question? Yes or no?
100%.
100%. Why? Because I made it personal. I didn't just identify the problem of the cracks. I identified the problem of the emotions behind having to find someone to fill the cracks. Difference.
That's
so
true.
Again, when I am selling, I'm looking for the emotional problems and I'm providing emotional solutions. Again, oh, miss, just curious. Congratulations first on moving in. I know this is an exciting time for you, but I also know that you have a lot of moving parts. Most importantly, your furniture. When's that coming? Oh, well, that's scheduled to come Thursday. Perfect. So I'm pretty sure that's important to you that I give you a quote the day I come. Is that correct? Even though you're planning on doing that. Yes, that's very important. Awesome. Because just so you know, miss, and this is over the phone, you're preparing for this. Just so you know, miss, I am, I know we have an opening Monday. So if everything lines up, we may be able to get in there Monday and get out of there on Thursday. So your moving truck, if they come, we'll be done the main areas. They can get started there and we'll be finishing up the details. How does that sound? That sounds great, Ian. Hey, also, real quick, are you a fan of a lighter color or a darker color? This way I can bring some samples so maybe we can narrow down that floor style that you want, save you some even more time so you don't have to go to the flooring store. How's that sound? Oh my God, Ian, that sounds great. So you don't have to go to the flooring store, miss. She probably didn't even think that she had to go to the flooring store, Ian.
Yeah.
And you just showed her the emotional stress and headache of one more thing on someone who's moving into a house, what their to-do list is.
That's
if
true.
It's not already massive as it is. And what Ian's doing is solving emotional problems. People pay more when you solve their emotional problems.
No, I definitely agree with that. I feel like I was trying to figure out how to make it more emotional in the sense of because that's what I was even telling my girlfriend. I was like you buy with emotion, right? When it comes to construction, you don't need floors in your house if you already have floors, right? So a lot of it's like emotion. So I guess I was trying to figure out how to better bring these questions in. I think you gave some good examples.
595 rule, Ian. 5% the focus is on the details of the project. 95% of the time it should be focused on the customer and their specific needs, wants, and desires. You are hired to do the job. Everyone else that comes in to give an estimate is going to be asking those same dry questions. Guess what? At that point, they're just going to look at the number, Ian, like what's happening. So my suggestion to you is to get off this call with me and call that Friday estimate that you have and just say, hey, miss, I just wanted to update my notes here. When exactly is that moving truck coming? And then do exactly what I said. So it would be beneficial if I actually provided you a price when we met on Friday. I know some people email them. I can actually provide you one on the spot. Perfect. That sounds great. And just curious, maybe I can bring over some samples. Are you interested in a lighter or darker color? If they say either one, go to a flooring store that you haven't been to, buy some samples if they charge you for them, get on their vendor list. And if you see someone perusing, looking at floors, just introduce yourself and see if you can sell them the job.
Okay.
Stop knocking doors. If you have the cojones to go out on New Year's and knock doors, you walking into a flooring store and sparking up a conversation with someone's actually interested in flooring is going to be a cakewalk for you, bro.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think so. Yeah. Well, I definitely think, I will try calling that client. I know you said you don't have much time, so I did have a couple questions, but
Go for it. I got a couple more minutes.
Okay. What would you say the best way of getting my guys to speed up? Because when I was doing that meeting with Nick, we basically broke it down, and like one of my jobs as example, we realized to be at a profitable margin, we basically need them to finish a day and a half early.
I need you to just focus on getting jobs right now. I don't care how long they take.
Yeah.
Okay. I just need you to focus on keeping jobs so these guys don't leave because there's not work.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it. You can refine a process when you have a process to refine. Right now, you don't. Right now, your job should be to be 5 jobs ahead of your team.
Yeah.
Write that number down. 5.
I don't have a pen and paper on me right now, but I will.
Well, you just hold up your hand, and then when you sell one, all right. Listen. Stop overthinking this. Be emotional about it. Be a buyer, Ian. Okay. What would be important to you? Okay. And you are an average customer, an average homeowner. You're not looking at little things like squeaks and cracks in a way unless it becomes personal. Oh, at night when you're walking, do you hear those cracks? Yeah, well, we're going to prevent that for you. Here, watch. I'm going to put some tape there if you don't mind, just so we know that this is an area that needs to be secured.
One time I did an estimate, and the lady actually said she wants to keep the squeaks so she knows that there's intruders coming in the house.
And say, perfect. I'll make sure that I put a piece of tape here to leave them for you and make it a joke, right? You have to create an experience, bro, or else people will see you exactly the same as the next guy that comes in with a lower price. But there's no
Yeah.
Ians in the world, bro. There's only one of you. They can't compare you if you bring out your personality, you bring out your care, and you bring out your enthusiasm. These three things are intangible. These three things can't be compared. And these three things are what people pay more for because it exudes trust. It exudes honesty. It exudes excitement in a project, bro. I mean, I built my business off of this, so I can come to you with this certainty. And this is why. I mean, I do this every single day, and I just focus on what is most important to that customer. And if I were you, I would be rushing off the phone with me to get on the phone with this customer and build that value that you failed to build. If you don't know that closing date, that's a big issue.
Yeah.
And I know you said you may have written it down, but again, if this is your only customer, if this is your North Star, this could be a full house flooring job that could sustain you for a whole week. Could it? Yes or no? You're one job away from one of those guys.
Yeah.
One job will build you for a week, and then you got some momentum, bro. And then you can keep your guys there for a week. You guys are good, perfect. You can breathe a little bit and then build that second one, bro. In my business right now, all I'm doing is playing keep away.
Yeah.
I am in the same position as you. I just have more jobs booked out in excess of what my guys can do. I'm in the same exact position as you. Everyone is, unless they have unlimited jobs, which if they do, come on the podcast, tell us how you did it.
Now, my last question before you go is, I know in the last, or the first or last, I can't remember. I think it was the first one. I kind of make it a show when I do that discount, right? I go on and I say, okay, here's your total cost. And I scratch it out and I write what they're saving and their new total cost. Now that I'm not really actually doing a true 17% discount, I was just curious if there's a way of still doing that show and showing them the money that they're saving without having like my square footage pricing like $5 a square foot for vinyl. Like, or is that just fine to show that you're really high priced normally and you're bringing it down to a smaller value? I guess, because like I line item every item, right? So if my vinyl installation is normally $250, but I'm trying to, do a 17% discount. If I'm going to do $4 per square foot for vinyl, just to make that top dollar or that bottom
Here's a
dollar
way to go about it. Say, listen, the last thing I'm doing here is to create pressure. That's not how I operate. But would it be overstepping to ask you for your business today in exchange for the discount offer? And then you back it up with a reason why. And the reason why is, miss, because right now we have no work for Monday, and you be transparent as a business owner, and we could really use this job. I have to keep my team busy. So would it be overstepping to ask you if we exchange your business for this discount today? And I'll show you what that looks like.
I guess more in the sense of like the times that I do go into the job, I'm showing the 17%, like what my costs are at right now is basically like the bare minimum, right? I'm making like, say, a 30% margin on it. If I want to put on a 17% discount and do the show of, scratching at the number, that the total number, and putting in, this is how much you're saving and this is your new total, how can I make that bottom dollar prior to me scratching it out higher without, well, obviously I would have to up the prices.
It's all perception. And I think we talked about this, is that you need to sell the flooring too.
No, I do.
Okay. So it's all perception. You have full control over what you show and what you take off. It's all perception. You have to just be good at doing it. It's kind of like sleight of hand, in a way, but not in a way other than, not in a deceitful way. It is what it is. I mean, that was the incentive that you put out. They are getting savings. It's just a matter of how you display it and the urgency behind the savings. It's like, look, and I think if you just say, oh, well, you have to book today if you want the 17% discount, that's one way to do it. But if you make it personal and emotional, listen, I'm a new business owner. Right now we have 2 employees and I'm trying to keep them busy for Monday, and we didn't have a job scheduled. So the reason why I'm creating a little urgency is because, we do need that work for Monday. And one way that we want to thank you is by offering you this discount.
Yeah.
So it's isn't that a lot more personal and emotional than, okay, well, if you book today, you can get the 17% discount?
No, for sure. That's normally what I do. But I think one of the other problems that I have is that, like, I have an issue where sometimes if I get a lead from another source and then they said, "Oh, so you're scrolling on Facebook and we noticed that you guys are doing 17% off." I'm like, if I do 17% off now, I'm not going to make any profit. So I normally say like, "Oh yeah, it's included," or I just say like, "Oh, all the spots are taken up for that, unfortunately," or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Just again, everything that you do, study it, but also anything that you look at, say, did I ask this question in a project focused fashion or was this emotionally charged? Like it's one of those two things. And any of those questions, I don't need to even hear them. I'm like, all I was listening to was it emotional or was it project focused?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Homeowners have a sweet spot, dude, but some don't. Some are project focused homeowners, like people that are renting their house out, right?
Yeah.
And you experienced that not too long ago.
Yep.
Okay. So then you don't go heavy on the emotional side. You go heavy on the project side. You know, doesn't make sense to sit there and harp on feelings when they don't care about feelings. They care about flipping the house.
Yeah.
But a homeowner just moving in, are they not the most emotionally charged homeowners that you can possibly run into?
Definitely.
It's the biggest emotional experience that they're going to have in 10 years, a new house, new environment. They spend money faster than they ever have because all they're picturing is getting settled in. So if you're not using that phrase settled in your sales process, you're not doing something right. Miss, my goal is to get you settled in the most efficient way possible. That's one thing we pride ourselves on is communication and keeping our promises in terms of timeline. Worst case scenario, I will jump my owner butt in there and make sure your job gets done before the movers come. That's how committed I am to you. In exchange for that commitment and that trust and that certainty, Miss, I'd like to ask for your business.
Yeah. No, for sure.
You know, so I hope this and I didn't mean to cut you off. That's the last thing I want to do. I know you want to run through that sales process, but to me, I want you to just keep it as simple as possible. Going through each little thing like that. I mean, it's first going to be hard to remember. And it sounds like you're reading off of a script in person. Emotional selling is like, if I were this person, how would I feel? What would I want? What would be valuable to me? You see what I'm saying?
No, yeah, for sure.
Was that helpful today? A little bit different than last time? Is that going to give you some juice?
I think so. I got 2 estimates while we were just on the phone here. So that came in from Pathfinder. So I'll have to call those
perfect. So anybody else jump on the breakthrough, it's good luck. You get estimates coming in. Right into your, and you know what's even cooler? If they came into Dripjobs, which I think they did.
Followed up.
What happened? They've been being taken care of while you were on the phone with me here, man. They are followed up with right now, probably looking at what date and time they want. You might even get an appointment booked while we're on the call. Right. Thanks.
Possibly.
Bro, as always, dude, I love talking with you, man. Come on again. We'll keep doing this until you hit 1 million in revenue.
Thank you, bro.
All right, man.
All right.
Good luck.
Have a good one. Bye.
Dripjobs CRM is finally here. That's right. So Dripjobs is an automation platform for contractors, home service professionals that's going to automatically follow up with your customers. It's going to allow you to send invoices, estimates. It's going to allow you to send out blast marketing emails to individuals based on where they are in the buying process. This software is next level. And I'm reaching out to you. You're a listener of this podcast, and I want you to be one of the first ones to give it a shot. So if you want to see what Dripjobs can do for your business, I'd love for you to head over to dripjobs.com, sign up for a free demo, and get your team involved and let us sit with you and show you how powerful this software is. It's going to save you time, it's going to make you money, and you're going to love the features that are built into Dripjobs. So if you want to check it out, head over to dripjobs.com, and we will give you first priority being a podcast listener to be one of the very first to try out Dripjobs in your home service business. I'm super excited to share that with you, and I'll catch you on the next episode.